Hello, my name is Joseph Paul. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the pros of capital punishment and more specifically the death penalty. Before I get started, let me introduce my audience to you. Today we have my sister Maria, my father Michael,
Hi.
my brother Anthony, and my mom Jill. Before I get started, I wanted to know your guys' stance on capital punishment. So if we could just go down the line and tell me whether you agree or you disagree with it. Go ahead.
I agree with capital punishment.
I completely agree with it. We should instill it in Michigan.
I agree. I think there's better ways of dealing with guilty criminals.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Capital punishment has been around for over 4,000 years. Some of the first death penalty laws date back to the 18th century BC. It started in Babylon, which is nowadays known as Istanbul. The death penalty started in Babylon, servicing 25 different crimes. Some of these crimes include theft, espionage, and murder. As of 2014, the U.S. has the highest rate of crime as well as the most prisoners throughout the whole world. Crime rates have steadily increased in the U.S. over the past 10 years. With this increase has come an overcrowding in the U.S. prison system. Capital punishment provides not only closure, but a sense of right to the families of the victims involved in these murders. A murder does not only involve one single pairing of people. The family, and friends often feel the most grief following the death of a loved one. This grief is often only reconciled through a feeling of revenge or eye for an eye. As I said before, capital punishment provides a sense of closure, a complete sense of closure to families who have had to lose a loved one. Many would-be murderers get turned away at the thought of capital punishment compared to life in prison. Criminals no longer have a lasting fear in the prison system due to a lavish life in prison, which involves many free amenities, and they live off the tax-paying dollars of hardworking Americans. Capital punishment saves money to the taxpayers. An inmate who is sentenced to life in prison lives off the tax dollars of American workers. The full price that costs tax dollars to service American prisons is around $39 billion. In Michigan alone, where the death penalty is not illegal, last year over $1,267,954,000 tax dollars was spent to service the cost of prisons. That's Michigan alone. Capital punishment is incredibly humane and it results in no pain for the criminal involved. The top 5 methods of execution involve lethal injection, electrocution, gas, hanging, and firing squad. Although these are the top 5 methods of execution in the U.S., lethal injection makes up over 90% of the method used. Capital punishment removes the violent offenders from society in a humane and complete way. Although for a life in prison sentence, a criminal would be put away for life, there's always a chance for parole, there's a chance for good behavior, and as I mentioned before, he is living off the money that hardworking Americans make for a crime that he committed, whether it be murder, espionage. This serves as a reminder to potential criminals as an example of punishment of these horrible capital crimes. This allows for families of the victims to feel closure. Capital punishment serves as a necessary evil. Although it is widely debated and there are positive and negative arguments for both sides, capital punishment protects the lives of hardworking, law-abiding Americans and acts as a fierce reminder that capital crimes will not be tolerated. Support for capital punishment starts with each of you. Gathering a strong base knowledge, choosing a side, and voicing your opinion is how capital punishment will stay around in the U.S. Currently, there are 35 U.S. states that still observe and use the death penalty. This number has been steadily declining in the U.S. Within the past few years, there's been an average increase in the support against capital punishment. But as I mentioned before, with the new overcrowding in the U.S. prison system, this alternative seems a much more viable option as compared to simply releasing petty criminals. The capital punishment has been around for thousands of years, and I believe that it has stayed in use for a reason. It offers reconciliation for the families, hope for loved ones who have been lost, and it offers a sense of fear to would-be capital criminals to possibly deter them from committing these crimes in the first place. So I hope that this speech has allowed you to think about your thoughts and views on capital punishment, and hopefully it's swayed your mindset a little bit in favor of this very necessary evil. Thank you.